Welcome, ranchers. Probably should take this off. You can hear me better. But isn't this an adorable math? It was sent to me by one of our program board members, Wendy Cooper. She said it should match my personality. I think it does. I know when I wear it out, I just love the fact that people stare at me and then they just have to smile. They just have to. Because of course I have to act out a little bit too, but how fun is that? Just way cute. I just had to share that. I hope over the weekend you had an opportunity to get away from the pandemic a little bit and get outside, even if it was just for a few moments. There's something about nature. Nature has so much to teach us about mindful living. And there are a lot of studies about getting out in nature and being quiet and mindful and aware of what's around you can really have a relaxing effect on your nervous system, on your breath. There's just so much we're learning about the connection between mindfulness and nature. So over this holiday weekend, I had planned, you know me, the planner, but I just had to get in and get some of my plants, my perennial lilies, split up in things because the past few years I've just let them get too big and then I can't do it. So I thought, okay, I'm doing it this weekend, rain or shine. I'm going to be out there splitting up some perennials and planting. So rather than making it like a task, a type A task that I had to get done, I wanted to be sure that I had the intention to having some pause time. And not pause time just to catch my breath and massage my hands because of all the hard work, but some pause time to actually be mindful and observe nature around me. And so I was pausing at this one moment and just reflecting about the warmth of the sun on my body. And it just took me back to a lot of thoughts in my early science classes at school. Science did happen to be my favorite subject, and so there's lots of things that I recall from even when I was a little kid. And I remember making a paper mache sun and just being fascinated by this. And I remember being told that it was a star. In fact, it's the nearest star to us, and yet it's just this creative force of energy that is unparalleled. These brilliant illuminating rays, well, it definitely changes in the season. It gives us heat. It provides all living beings with vital life force energy. And the fact that I love plants, photosynthesis, and all that the sun plays in nourishing and flourishing plants. And of course, even back in storytelling times, the fact that the sun could banish away the dangers that only lurked and came out in the dark, and to be waiting during the night until the sun would rise again and banish all those shadows. You know, our lives to a large extent is driven by the brilliant illumination of the sun. So here are just some fun facts I was thinking about. Of course, the sun drives the cycles of our days. I was thinking about how thankful I was that here in North Dakota, we were coming into what we would have our summer season where we have the heat, the feeling on our body of the sun, and the changing of seasons. And yet I always have appreciated North Dakota in the deep of winter when it's minus 14, without wind chill. And yet the sun is out and it's brilliant and the snow is sparkly, but yet it has no heat. And of course, that all has to do with the tilt of the earth and those things, but the fact that it's still and always there. It's a great and unselfish giver rising into the sky at the start of every new day. It energizes us, it bathes us in radiance and provides us with so many blessings. I know for me, not being a morning person, I really struggle sometimes during the winter months because the sun's not there when I get up in the morning. And yet in the summertime, I have no problem. It's like, yeah, start of a new day. Come on, kids, when I'm talking to my dogs. It just feels so different when the sun is out. And that reappearance of the sun after a long stretch of maybe not being able to sleep at night due to pain in my body or pain in my heart or thoughts in my head, it has a power to inspire us and to allow us to recognize that the dawn of a new day has new possibilities and new ways to tackle what might have been keeping us up at night. The sun does have a lot to teach us and has during history. Early astronomers saw that sun being constantly there as a signifier of energy and strength and courage and power. How many of our early cultures thought of the sun as a being, as a god in some, and many, many different peoples actually named the sun, and it had different names. That illumination and steady flow of energy, whether you can see it or not, has for many, many years been inspiring to me. I still remember like it was yesterday when I got on a plane in really cloudy, dreary, rainy weather, only to rise above the clouds and to be in bright light. And yeah, the sun was still shining above all that dreariness that was below. And so oftentimes when it's dreary outside or dreary within me, I often remember, but the sun is always shining, even if I can't see it right now. So it's a powerful symbol for myself and others of hope, of joy, growth, and creativity. So a fun sun-centered pause that you might like to try to help you harness this loving energy while practicing mindfulness. You awaken before dawn, you go outdoors, find yourself a comfy chair, or maybe it's a cushion on the ground, or maybe you just like to sit on the grass and watch the sun's ascent. Now, this is much easier to do in North Dakota than it was back home in the Chicagoland area for me, when all of the different buildings and things would get in the way. If you can get a really good view at the horizon, that is really special to see the sunrise from the horizon up. And as it begins to rise and get into view, close your eyes. And you can actually bask in the light. You can actually, through your eyelids, you'll be able to see it getting brighter and brighter due to the sun's illumination. And imagine yourself, your whole being, like ascending alongside the sun. You can feel yourself grow as you absorb that sun's energy through the light and feel the warmth. And your body will tell you when you've taken in enough. You'll either start to feel achy or too hot, or just experience it as long as it feels right. And there is no right or wrong time. Just experience that sunrise and appreciate all that the sun gives to you and to the entire world. The nurturing heat's there to warm you and allow you to flourish. And its energy nourishes the food that we eat. While it's light, well, the light allows us to see the beauty in the world and the beauty in ourselves. And so until next time, take some time to pause and reflect on the sun. Please stay safe. And of course, be well.